Hello everyone. I think many viewers of the Yasha Kosiak Songs channel are very interested in how my buildings are doing over time. Let me remind you, the main filler of the walls in them is extruded polystyrene foam. When the extremely cheap roof, made of facade paint and polystyrene foam, the roof has already gone through 3 winters. With this video, I want to sum up the results of several years of innovative research. For the first wall of the house for $1,000 project, I used a stronger homemade composite. While making it, I constantly experimented. The hardened elements were inserted to the frame using the most expensive method. So, the first wall ended up with decorative pebble plaster, but later I stopped using it. The subtitles, the first wall was done, so I started making the rest. It was so simple that even the dog tried to help. Continue. Later on, I started using a mixture that's used for gluing and creating a base reinforcing layer on insulation materials. I learned these mixtures have polymers that improve fixation for expanded. The wall started to set faster. The wall survived the second winter, despite warnings from armchair builders and specialists. No significant cracks appeared at the joints with the wall frame posts. The frame didn't loosen, and nothing was blown out from anywhere. This construction method is so captivating that our children decided to build an outdoor toilet, and most importantly, they succeeded. Dog made the subtitles. I just helped a bit with the door and assembly, showing how simple it all is. Prefabricated walls were glued with polyurethane foam adhesive, and corners reinforced with gypsum mix and fiberglass mesh. Dima, what did you do? This is how the toilet looked last winter, and this is how it looks this year. Notice that now it's in a new location. And it ended up here not because the wind blew it over. To commemorate building the toilet, I made a video highlighting the frame construction. I'm planning a video soon on how I made it super warm with efficient ventilation. So be sure to subscribe to Yasha Kosiak Song channel if you haven't already. I almost forgot. Along with constructing the $1,000 house walls and toilet, the old expanded polystyrene was removed from beneath the worn screeds. After lying outside for a year, the sheets were reused. I glued them together to make the base for our summer shower. Asta ima šta voler iva duša. All the designers in their apartments, just like imparted, wash, stairs, subtitles. I applied 2 reinforcing layers on each side. Dima dorsok. The shower walls were built differently than the house and toilet walls. I added the reinforcing layers after gluing the polystyrene foam to the walls. I applied 2 reinforcing layers to the roof with intermediate setting and applied the first exterior layer to the walls. I achieved the brick texture by scoring the fresh layer of tile adhesive, this time without using narrow masking tape. It turned out to be much faster. When the doorway appeared, I also applied 2 reinforcing layers inside. I painted the new object again with facade paint. Expanded polystyrene will next be used for the first floor in the A house with a cost of $1,000 project. There was no way to avoid the exhausting preliminary heavy work. I was having progressive thoughts about the lack of progress in making construction work easier when building by yourself. Why hasn't an affordable exoskeleton been created yet that could multiply our strength and abilities many times over? It would be great to work as fast as in those sped up video clips. More than 4 decades ago, cinema gave everyone a lot of hope. When The Adventures of Electronic was released, we were told robots would soon do the work instead of people. So, where'd all that? After the first calculation, we were deceived again. Although we prepared the floor base with classic, labor-intensive methods, in one of my previous videos, the wheelbarrow is, of course, very reliable, but in that story I meant something else, my old wheelbarrow. It's a symbol of always being short on cash and only briefly having any financial stability. It never truly existed. I used to haul the wheelbarrow around as a kid and teenager. It seems like the powers that be heard my complaints, but they took them literally, and now I have a wheelbarrow again, but this time it's a new one. So, maybe you need to be more precise when expressing your wishes, especially when it comes to material things. I just wanted to have enough. If my kids grow attached to the car like I did to a Soviet car, at least it'll be new and maybe the best in the world. I think the Greenworks G40 GC garden cart is quite capable of competing. Even though I didn't get the chance to hire labor, that alone is already a real breakthrough. I also saved a good amount on the house's blind area. As usual, the old Soviet wheelbarrow made moving soil easier. That's why you could even call it a transformer wheelbarrow. I wonder what it would look like after full transformation if it became a character in the Transformers saga. How might it react to a new battery-powered garden wheelbarrow? I hope they wouldn't become rivals. The old wheelbarrow and I are like one, digging into the ground and moving it by the cubic meter. There's another important tool, the shovel. In making this soft blind area, I hope the old wheelbarrow won't get too jealous of the new one. Here we go again, sun and the wheelbarrow. Now I can finally straighten my back and move the sand effortlessly with just one hand. Progress is obvious though. To all viewers who are new to Yasha Kosiak's song channel, I kindly ask all viewers, if possible, to be sure to share this video. I've noticed for a long time that YouTube's algorithms don't fully help spread information about truly affordable construction methods. Business dominates the world, and orders from above may intentionally withhold innovations that help people save money. That's why everything is in our own hands. For example, the previous video showed an unusual pipe convector that greatly boosts stove efficiency. I'll put the link below the video. It doesn't have many views, but it could be very useful. A gas lift dump body is just as convenient as the rusted out front panel of an old wheelbarrow. Even though it was midwinter, I was eager to get to work. I took advantage of the thaw, which left the ground without any snow cover. I found the most uneven spot in the yard and set up a test mini trial with 100 kilograms of sand. The camera may not capture how significant the elevation change is here. Even though we don't have an exoskeleton or a robot builder yet, and that means, comrades, we are confidently marching toward a bright future. As we age, we don't get stronger. Many people should consider making heavy physical work easier.
Wait. Useless thing. Useless. All right. Let's go.
I remember hauling leftover bricks and paving tiles for our tall, productive, warm garden beds. Subtiles by Dimazok. Now, it's become much easier to do this. Here is a tall, warm garden bed made with the new material, which has been tested for nearly a year. Watch this detailed video about it. I'm planning for the new gardening season. Although I rarely need to haul heavy materials for new garden beds now, the wheelbarrow still has plenty of work. As the German in the Sturlitz movie said, youth should ensure a good old age. For some reason, those words stayed in my memory. But it's not easy to do that in our part of the world. Our summer shower survived its first winter. Its walls are much heavier and sturdier. In fact, the material isn't as light as it might seem. There's not even a hint of any cracks appearing. But I wouldn't be myself if I didn't find something to improve in this cart. This rattling third wheel should be swapped for a pneumatic one, like the front wheels. I hope now we'll be able to build much faster and we'll spend less time and effort on gardening tasks. When I made a video about our garden shredder nearly 5 years ago, many criticized it as expensive and useless. A lot of people wrote that, according to the old Slavic tradition, that's why there's room for progress here too. Give a big thumbs up. Yes, let there be peace worldwide. Thank you.